Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome if you're new. I'm Stacy, and today this is attempt number 2 at trying to record using my new brush pen. This is my new Pentel brush pen that I got. If you saw my art haul, you would have seen it in there. Pretty inexpensive brush pen. I picked it up on Amazon. It came with 2 inks. One's in it and one spare. The drawings that you see that are already done on this card that I've created, this is a piece of watercolor paper. I had extra pink gesso that I had created, and I did a little pink brushwork on this paper in the squares that I have drawn. I got a little carried away. I ended up painting a little something in each one to draw over the top of, and I thought I would use my lovely new ink pen to do some sketching, drawing. Here I'm drawing a plant. It's just a I don't know what kind. I honestly didn't look it up. I thought, oh, that one's cool looking, and that's what I'm drawing. Or at least a variant of it. I do tend to go off script quite a bit when I'm sketching. And add my own flair here and there. More of a reference photo for guide rather than to draw directly from. And I really love this brush pen. The ink flows beautifully. Working on a gessoed surface is pretty nice. I like the texture of it. I've already drawn a flower, a bird, and you might see the you already caught a glimpse of the the butterfly and the ladybug drawing that I've already done underneath my hand right there. Those I did yesterday, but I was filming from above, and I used this pen pretty straight up and down, so my hand was in the way for almost an hour. I videoed for an hour. I didn't even think to tilt the pen. So I'm recording at a bit of an angle this time with my phone on my new little tripod, which I moved again. There it is. It's a Moft tripod. I think that's what this is. If I can get it to unstick. Yeah, MOFT, and it magnets to the back of your case, your phone case, and it allows for really nice close-up shots like this one. The phone is a bit in my way, but that's okay. I'll make it work. I've forgotten how much I really enjoy doing just an intensely dark drawing and with line weight and subtle shading. So this is really super relaxing process. Figuring out what way I want the plants to flow, how they're going to look overlapping, different petals and stuff, and I would like to do more of this. I'd like to do a lot more of this kind of art. I do like to also stencil and draw over the top of that. You guys, if you've been here, you've seen my bookmark ones, where I go in with different stencils and stamps and ink to make my bookmarks, which are so fun. And I think I might do a little bit of that over some of these little, well, they're not cards yet. I am going to cut these out. I'm going to draw in all the squares and then cut them out and round the corners on these ones, and then the other ones are more square with a gently rounded corner. I created 2 sheets a while ago. I had 2 pieces of Strathmore watercolor paper just kind of floating around the desk. And I thought, well, I could do some mini paintings on those, some mini drawings. And I created the layouts and then tucked them on the shelf next to me and forgot about them. And I was thinking I need to draw on my bookmarks, and I did a couple of bookmark drawings while I was listening to my book. Didn't think to record it. I was just relaxing. And then I got out this, and I was like, ooh, I need to draw on this too. So here we are, doing a little bit of ink work. There we go. And just enjoying those. This is real time, by the way. I'm thinking, do I want to add another set of leaves or just the top? Like just the top of the next segment of the plant, and I'm going for just the top of the next segment of the plant right there. See, there's the little ladybug one. Oh, I forgot. I dropped the phone like 5 times. So hold on. Bear with me here. I'm trying not... Whoa. Yeah, I got a little frustrated. I bumped it and then bumped it again. And it tips pretty easily. I need to get a little weight for it. But the ladybug one was super fun to draw. Next to that is mushrooms with butterflies, which if I think about zooming out, or when I move the paper, we might see those. Those were fun. It was a good drawing session. It was almost an hour of, me and my chatter and drawing, and I had a nice time, and I was very satisfied with the session when I was done. And then when I went to edit, my hand was in the way for 90% of the actual drawing part. You couldn't see the tip of the pen or any of the work that I was doing. So that's why I'm attempting to film in this fashion for this one. See how it goes. I don't hate it, although drawing with the camera right in front of you is a bit of a challenge. I decide I'm going to kind of pop in some leaves up here. Another branch, kind of give it a little more interest. I feel like the lone stalk without an animal or creature flying something is a bit stark. So I'm going to go ahead and pop in a little branch with a couple more leaves and deciding if I want them to overlap or go behind. And I decide for going behind, and just quickly dropping that in. And I do leave this black drawing on pink background. I don't do anything else to this one. With my other pieces, I got in there with all kinds of mediums, color pencils. I had a fun time. Gel pens, a little bit of pan pastel. I'll do another one of those with some of the other squares. I'll do a better drawing session for this coming Friday's video. This is today's video, Monday. I'm gonna pop this one up tonight. It's getting to be almost bedtime. It's almost 10 o'clock at night for this voiceover. And just trying to get this little chore knocked out. I was super bummed yesterday when I went to edit the video yesterday evening, and 90% of my work was hidden by my hand. So I'll have to be mindful of that next drawing session. Sorry about my fingernails too. I had those fake fingernails on and it kind of thrashed my nails this time. Okay, so there's the butterfly one up there with the little mushrooms and the little dandelion poof to the right there. Super fun to do. And on the dandelion poof is little bit of white colored pencil and then gel pen. I went in with the white gel pen, which you can see the ink kind of bled a little bit because I wasn't patient enough to wait for the ink to dry completely. And the gel pen did pick it up a little bit and make it so that I could I don't know why it's doing that. My computer keeps telling me I can attach a device. And I'm like, I don't want to attach a device. Come on. I moved the camera a little bit and fixed things up so that you could see exactly what I'm doing here. We're going to draw a super close-up flower. The petals are going to bleed out of the square. And I'm just kind of getting the center of it in. The little center is folded in on itself still. It hasn't fully opened up, or at least that's what it looks like in the reference photo. I do have reference photos from Pixabay up on my computer screen for this drawing. Some of them I'm just going in and doodling, and some of them I'm using reference photo for. Just depends on my mood, really. And there are a bunch of little, trying not to think about color here, the yellow colors of the flower in the reference photo, and think about value, the light and dark. And trying to convey soft, like almost merging blob of yellow little stamens around that center bit there. Little challenging. Bunches of fine little hairs and little rounded tops on them. We don't want to like do complete line work, right? Like outline everything. So I got that far, and then I decided I was going to drop in the roughly little petals. And I do like the broken lines that you can get with a brush pen, and that I have to practice a lot with my heavier, lighter strokes, the line weight. So that's another reason that I'm doing these drawings, is to practice my line weight. So you got really bold right there. Because line weight matters when you're doing a black and white or two-tone drawing, right? It can convey shadow, it can convey textures, depending on if you're hashing, cross-hatching, or just, doing parallel vertical lines, or drawing around the edge of a flower petal like this. My fan's ticking behind me, caught my attention. It got up to, I think, 82 degrees outside today, so the apartment was a little sweltery. So I have all my fans on. It finally cooled down and is comfortable now. I need to take my shower after this voiceover and go to bed. Relax and get some sleep. I'm going to read my book for a little bit and then go to sleep. I'm reading Frost Sight, which is book 1 in a trilogy. It's about dragons and adventure. We haven't gotten to the dragon part yet. I'm like halfway through the book, so I'm interested to see how that pans out. It is a pretty good story so far, though. A little bit of an adventure story. I do like a nice adventure story. Getting in some texture lines to convey folds and shadows, and some of the texture as well of the petals. If you ever look at a petal, some of them have a lot of texture, a lot of lines flowing out seemingly. And I do want this to feel like it's folded a bit on itself, just a bit here and there, and then overlapping, of course. And I tend to do that a lot too. As I'm thinking, I'll do a half release on the pen and roll it a little bit and grip it and release and grip. That's me thinking about my next line and my next move, assessing the situation as it were. And I do like that you can actually see the lines as they go down as well. I'm trying to create a little bit of a fold right there on that petal, like it's folded up on itself a bit and rolled on the edge. Sorry, I just hit the mic with my hand. And I'm going for super light lines, but my marks are way too heavy right there. So I'm not completely satisfied with how this one turned out. Sorry, my alarm's going off. It's my go-to-bed alarm. I have an alarm set for 10 o'clock so that when I'm over here or doing art things or being creative or watching TV or whatever I'm doing at night, I get up and go to bed. Because, I get lost. And here's where I start using my finger while the ink is still pretty wet and creating a bit of shadow here and there. I will go over a line that I've already put down just to drop down some ink and then smudge it in the direction that I would like it to go. I should have gone. Oh yeah, I was going for a little bit of wobbly folds, like the ripple of a piece of fabric on the edges of the flower right there. Sorry, my hand. The camera got a hold of my hand and my thumb there and is focusing on it. Man, my fingernails look terrible. Sorry about that. I need to oil them again. It's a pet peeve of mine. And I do oil my fingers every night, but I put that glue on in the fake nails so they look a little rough. I think there's just a glue remover you can get too, which I should probably grab a little bit of. Would probably help with the cleaning up of the nails. Oh my goodness. Oh, goodness gracious. Sorry about that. Sorry if that caught anybody off guard and you yawned too. I apologize. A little tappy tap tap there to get some textures. Your fingerprint is really good for getting textures in if you have a dominant fingerprint, and I do. I use it quite a lot in my art to make different kinds of textures here and there, and smudging especially too. A little bit of ink along the edge there so I can see if I can get a little bit of shadow on that petal pulling in from off screen or off canvas right there. And then a little bit of layering right there. Make that petal on top look like it's pushed forward a little bit because it's lighter and the one behind it is darker. And I'm getting carried away with line or the mark making at this point. Although overall, I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. It's a good practice. I shouldn't have done the next step. I should have just left it. I'm having a hard time leaving it just pink and ink. There's a new phrase for you. Pink and ink. Although it does look good to my eye, I instinctively want to add more. I always want to add more color, more. Get it in some ruffle marks on here, and I should have used just the tip of the pen there to get a finer line. In my head I was thinking about how, here I'm putting in the little stem, I was thinking about how long the video's going to be, and if I want to keep it real time I need to kind of pick up the pace a little bit. And then I go and get other mediums out. So this is me digging for other mediums. I set my pen down over there. And I'm digging through my colored pencils. Oh no, I'm getting the wand. Oh no, I was digging through my colored pencils. Now, if you don't wait for the ink to dry, which I did not, it will catch and bleed all over the place. You do have to wait for it to dry. And even though I wait for some of it to dry, it did on the other one up above this one was completely dry when I put the color on top. So it wasn't as bad. But here I'm being impatient and I want to add color really quickly. So I'm scribbling around with the colored pencil to convey that these little stamens are a little cloud around that center part of the flower right there. Not going for realism at all, just a dropping of color so you can tell what I'm trying to convey. And I should have left it at just the yellow, and it would have been perfectly fine with a little accent of yellow here and there on it. Now that I'm watching back, sorry about the blurry part there, my finger, I'm going to have to remember that too, that my finger is in the way of the focus of the camera. I apologize. But I do feel like this would have looked a lot better with just the yellow on it. But you don't know until you know. So after the fact, of course, going a little harder and a little darker on that petal behind this one to kind of convey that it is behind. And the petal on the top has a lot of light shining on it, so it would be much brighter. Yeah, I really do love colored pencil too. I wish it wasn't such a slow medium. I do thoroughly enjoy doing a long, layered, involved piece. So they don't do very well on the YouTubes. I suppose I could do a like a part 1, part 2, part 3 kind of thing. An actual lesson. See, I like it with just the yellow. You guys will have to let me know in the comments below if you like just the yellow, or if you like it with the next colors that I put in. Like, at what point would you have stopped with just the ink? And this little block only has a little bit of pink on it. There's not a lot going on. It's just a faint little texture of pink on this one. And you can see the ink kind of push it into the yellow. It's not bad. It's just not what I was going for. There we go. Now it's much more in focus. It is a beautiful yellow. I like that color. And these are my Brute Fooner colored pencils. And I have a couple Prismacolors in here in the stash as well. Just a couple though, like a blues and reds. They're actually not supposed to be in here. Astrid gets in my stuff and she tries to put things back where they go, but you know, little kids. What are you gonna do? Put that blue one over there where it goes. These are just supposed to be Brute Fooners. I'm going in with the white Prismacolor. It's the best white colored pencil hands down that I found, to get a little bit of a shine and blend, just a touch of blend going on. And I'm not really satisfied with it, but I started one spot, and it's better to just kind of move around the piece a little bit, at least do it put the color in a couple of other places so it looks intentional, rather than putting it in one spot and deciding you don't care for it and leaving that one spot with just a spot of color. And that's any color that you use. If you use a color in one area on your piece, you should probably use it at least once or twice more in other areas. Sorry about the blur. I'm learning with this technique. My hand is a beautiful focus with all my freckles. Jeez. This is actually a Uniposca colored pencil. This one is my Uniposca pink. I do love the Uniposca. I didn't know Posca made colored pencils. Here's one. I was looking for one in the... Yeah. They're very nice. They go down like butter. They're very nice. I would recommend them to anyone who wants to get a set of colored pencils to use, if you like a soft colored pencil. Actually, I haven't run across a colored pencil that I don't like. They all tend to go down pretty nice. Even the less expensive ones, they're just not as pigmented. Some of them of the student grade ones are not as pigmented. But the Brute Fooners and the Castle Arts colored pencils are pretty nice. The Brute Fooners I would choose the Castle Art over the Brute Fooner, personally. I don't, these are not a favorite, but they work. So there's the pink. I put in the pink, and then I'm going back in with some yellow. Once again, I'm really sorry about the blurry situation. Just to bold it up a little bit, make it a little more bold. Especially in the center, it needed to feel more uniform. And then dropping in white in the center there. And again, the ink bled a little bit, but I'm not stressing about it at all. Oh, and here's where I go in with, this is leftover pan pastel on my blending tool. And I'm going in my background. I do this quite a lot. And just dropping in color. I'm using up a little bit of purple residue on the blending tool. These are the soft tools, SOFFT, blending wands. And they come with a bunch of little slip-on sleeves that you can replace. You can also take them off and wash them if they get too grungy. They do stain though, so they will be stained, but you can clean them if you want to. I just dropped in a purple background for the texture and the color variants there. You'll have to let me know what you think in the comments below. That's all I'm doing for this one. I hope you guys like it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being here. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye, guys. Bye. Trying to wave. There we go. See you later.